Welcome to the new year. Yay! You made it to 2018. This is a time of year when everyone is thinking about their goals and what they want to do and what they want to create in the new year. And along with that comes a big dose of self-doubt. People are saying things to me like, well, I've never done that before, or I failed to hit the same goal last time. I don't know if I should try it again, or I've never set such a big goal. I'm just not even sure I could possibly get to it. So today, we're going to talk about how to start fresh, how to move forward on your goal, no matter what has happened in the past, what goals you've set in the past that you've reached or not reached, how to move forward fresh. Welcome to Explore Your Enthusiasm, episode 188 with me, Tara Swiger. Today, I want to talk about something that nearly everyone who wants to do something amazing runs up against. They have to deal with this whenever you think of something big and new and outside of yourself. If you have a little bit of doubt about it, this is going to come up. So as we move towards the new year, a lot of you are feeling like big goals are out of reach because you've never done it before. Right? You haven't accomplished that before, so how do you know you will possibly be able to do it in the future? So this week we're going to talk about some strategies for letting go of where you've been, figuring out how to move forward with a fresh start in order to get what you want out of your year and out of your business and out of your life. So, in the past we've talked about this a little bit in episode 91, which is about why you're afraid of a big goal. That comes up a lot. People are afraid to set bigger goals. And we've talked about in episode 101, why your goal failed. So if you're reviewing last year and you are feeling like your goal failed, go listen to episode 101. You can find it at taraswiger.com/podcast101 and listen to episode 91 to get ready for setting a big goal this year. You can find both of those linked up in the show notes of this episode, which is taraswiger.com/podcast188. Both those episodes are going to link up along with a worksheet to help you set a good goal, a reachable goal, a goal that makes sense for you and your business and your time and your values and your mission. That's all going to be at taraswiger.com/podcast188. So here is a couple ways to get started fresh. Number one, orient yourself where you are right now. You need to realize where you are right now, not where you think that you are or where you are afraid that you are or where you thought you would be, but where you actually are. So the very first phase in my book, Map Your Business, is getting clear on where you are right now. A lot of the people that I work with actually think they're behind or they're not far enough ahead or they haven't done as much as that they've actually done because they haven't really come in alignment with who they are right now, with what they've accomplished, with what they've done. They either forget or haven't realized or haven't reviewed all the goals that they've hit and the progress that they've made, the products they've made, the things they've accomplished. So you need to actually come into reality of where you are right now. It might be further than you think. In order to do this, you're going to identify your wins from the last year, look at what you did, what happened. You're also going to map out your universe and the resources and support that you have right now where you are. So there's an exercise in Map Your Business where we actually have you map your life, like all of the resources you have, the support that you have, the time that you have, the everything. And we also have you map your business. So like what are the products you have and the time that you have to work on it and the support you have to work on it and all kinds of things. Your customers, your fans, what does your business already have? Often when people do that process, they figure out their business is like bigger and wider and deeper than they were really giving it credit for. So also in order to get oriented in where you are, you need to get clear about what lessons you've learned and how you're going to bring them into the new thing you want to do. So being clear on where you are right now, being really oriented in what you've accomplished and what's brought you here and where you are is super important because so many of us want to discount what we've done, discount how far we've come, discount what was accomplished, or we've just forgotten. If you don't review the last year, it's easy to just forget what you got done and you are not where you used to be. The next step is to recognize your fear. If you are having a hard time looking at new goals this year because you're thinking about everything that you've ever done in the past, you're feeling some fear. So when you think about your goals for the new year and you think about everything you want to accomplish and everything you want to build, what is keeping you from feeling lit up and enthusiastic and like, oh, it's going to happen, it's so awesome? The answer is that it's fear. Fear is that thing that's keeping you from feeling all lit up about it and is making you feel doubtful about it. So my question for you is the fear of what? What are you afraid will happen? What will go wrong? What is the worst possible downside to you pursuing this goal? So a Starship captain recently told me, I don't want to verbalize my goal because then I have to acknowledge my failure if I don't reach it. But by leaving it, or she said, I'll have to acknowledge my failure if I don't reach it, and that's scary. And here's the thing, by not verbalizing it, by not making it real, then you kind of can't say, well, I didn't reach it or I did reach it. The downside of that is you don't know what steps to take to get there. If you kind of leave it fuzzy and unspoken and unclarified, then what do you do each day? What work should you do? What project should you work on? I don't know. You need to have a clear goal so that you know what steps to take to get there. So what I want you to do is write down what you're afraid of. Don't just think about it. Write it down, give it words, make it real. And then reaffirm to yourself that it is okay for you to have those fears and do it anyhow. I'm going to say that again. It is okay for you to have the fears and do it anyhow. Your fears are not a sign that you're not ready. They're not a sign you're going to mess up. They're not a sign of anything except for that you're a human being trying scary things. Courage isn't the lack of fear. Courage is having the fear and choosing to be brave and do the thing anyhow. Now, if you feel like your fear is really holding you back and you can't move forward, then work through it. I want you to schedule a time, put it on your calendar to actually work on this. 5, 15 minutes, an hour, depending on what you do, and use your own favorite tools. Maybe it's EFT tapping, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's talking it out with someone or taking it to your therapist or talking to your spouse about it. Whatever has worked for you in the past, make a plan that this isn't going to hold you back, that you're going to work through it. So that's the thing, is that fear often keeps us from doing big things and scary things because we leave it vague. We don't identify it. We just have this feeling in the back of our head, maybe we really shouldn't, and we don't know why. The more you can get clear about what it is, the more you can recognize maybe it's ridiculous, maybe it shouldn't hold you back, maybe it's serious and you need to work through it because it's deeply rooted. Whatever, it's fine, but you got to identify it. And then the next step is to identify the upside. What is the good of what you want? What is the upside to it all working out? What if you did hit this goal? A lot of times we have fears about what's going to come true if we hit this goal. Like, well, I wanted to get into 5 wholesale shops, but what if I can't actually fulfill those orders? Right? That's a fear of it going well. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that the downside, that you'll fail, it doesn't exist. In your business, failure isn't final, and it isn't a bad thing. It is instead it's a data point. It's just knowledge that now you have that doesn't work and this does work. So you haven't failed a business and you haven't failed at life if you fail to reach this goal. It's really important to realize that. You simply came to a different outcome. So you thought, if I do X, I'll get Y, and instead you got Z. That's just a different outcome. That's not failure. That's just like how science works. So that is all we're going for. All we're going for is knowledge and learning, and oh, when I do X, I get Z, not Y. That's good to know. We're experimenting, we're trying things, then we're looking at whatever the outcome is and adjusting our plans accordingly. Perhaps the outcome's what you hoped for, perhaps it's something different, but either way, you've learned something about what works and what doesn't work in your particular business and with your people and your products, and you've gathered information. So then you can apply that to your next experiment. That's it. That's the downside, is that you learn something. So what's the upside? What is the positive outcome of if these things work out? And look, if a positive outcome is something you really want. So if you're having a hard time feeling excited and enthusiastic about your goal, it might be that the upside isn't actually what you were trying to build to begin with. So you're going to create a better goal when you're really clear about what is the outcome you're trying to get to. And let me tell you that the best outcomes are outcomes where you learn stuff. So whatever your goal is for your business, keep in mind, you want to do this business for a long, long time. So your goal isn't to reach one point and stop. It's to learn stuff all the time about what you like, about what your customers like, about how you work together, about how to do a thing, about your own mindset and your blocks and your issues and the stuff you want to get towards. So that whole process is just a learning process. So whether you hit the goal, you don't hit the goal, if you've learned something, it's a good outcome. So also, the next step to setting your goal, feeling fresh, feeling excited about it, is to let go of what didn't go well last year. Really, really let go of it. So one of the most popular kind of projects in Map Your Business, which I was really afraid to put in this the first time I wrote this in the original draft of what became Map Your Business years ago, but it's become the most popular thing for people to do. And you make a list of everything you regret from the last year, everything that didn't go the way you wanted it to go, everything that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, any regrets you have. and you burn it. Or you crumple it up and you throw it away. You basically get rid of it, and as you're getting rid of it, you let it go. You're like, you know what? These are the things that didn't turn out. I'm letting it go. I'm being done with this. I'm not continuing to hold to this and judging myself and the possible outcomes by these outcomes. So I've even laid out Map Your Business so that you can pull that page out and you won't lose any of the other good pages. You can pull it out and get rid of it. Don't keep it around and keep looking at it and keep regretting and keep feeling bad about it. So you want to fully let it go. Now you can make this a ritual as complex or as simple as you like. As you write out your regrets, you can diffuse some essential oils, you can light a candle, you can have friends over and all do it together. Then take your list, crumple it, light it up, make sure you say, I am letting this go. Now, as I was thinking about this, I came up with some suggested oils to diffuse. Frankincense is the oil of truth and clarity. So while you're writing the list, diffuse some frankincense, get really honest with yourself about what you're disappointed in. Geranium, the essential oil geranium, will help you let go of self-judgment. And after you burn the list, lemon or lime will let you let go of your negative feelings about the regrets and cleanse that out by diffusing lemon or lime. Now, the next step then, after you've looked at the downside, you've looked at the upside, you will let go of what you didn't do in the past, is to set a better goal. Set a better goal. Set a reachable goal. In episode 101, I covered the reasons you might not have reached your goal, and I created a worksheet to help you set a better goal. Well, I've included that worksheet in today's transcript. So if you go to taraswiger.com/podcast188 and you scroll down, you see all the show notes. At the bottom, there's going to be a box that says get today's transcript and worksheet. Put in your email address there. We will send you the transcript, which has links of everything I'm saying, and has a worksheet to help you set a better goal. The important thing to do when you are setting your goal is to use the data of why you didn't reach your last goals. Use the data that you've learned and collected through failures or things that didn't go right. So, and then you want to set a goal that's aligned with your mission, your values, your available time, and your personal tendencies. Like, do you need a lot of accountability and support? Do you need to proclaim it publicly? What is actually right for where you are right now and the time and energy you have to put towards the goal? So you can get that worksheet at taraswiger.com/podcast188. Just fill out the form under the show notes. Scroll down, fill out the form, and you're going to get this transcript and the worksheet. And the last step is to remember, now is not then. It's one of my favorite things to say. Now is not then. You are a different person now than you were at the beginning of the last year. You are a different person now than you were last month. You have learned so many lessons. You have done so many amazing things. You have done so many hard things. You have fallen down. You have gotten back up. You are a different person. You have new skills. You have new abilities. You have new capabilities. So no matter what you're afraid of or what you think the downside is or that you think there's no way you can make this goal happen, if it's what you really want, it's going to take you towards what you want to build in your life and business. Remember, now is not then. You're not the same person. The situation is different. The world is different. Your customers are different. Now is not then. If you need to, put this on a Post-it note, stick it on your computer, put it on your mirror, put it on your refrigerator, write it on your journal, burn it into your memory, tattoo it on your forehead. Now is not then. So what you've accomplished in the past is not indicative of what you're capable of accomplishing in the future. If you decide to be different, to take different actions, to try different things, you can accomplish totally different things. You can be the person who accomplishes this goal you've set. So don't let your past actions and your past failures tell you anything about who you can be tomorrow. Only soaking in them, holding on to them, wallowing in them keeps you the same person. Letting them go and realizing now is not then moves you to being someone else, someone who can accomplish totally new things. So if you want to make a list of the lessons you've learned in the last year, if you want to write down your regrets and burn it, if you want to get oriented in where you are, and then create a very doable plan broken down into 3-month chunks with regular monthly reviews, then check out my book, Map Your Business. It's exactly what we do in it. It's hot pink. It's very fun, and it will help you reach your goals this year. And the great thing is it's not dated, so you can start at any time. If you're listening to this in May, you can start the book then. You can find it on Amazon in all of the countries, or you can go to taraswiger.com/map to get it signed by me, and I'll send it to you right from my house. That's taraswiger.com/map. It's also linked up at the show notes, where remember, there's a worksheet for you. I also have linked up some other episodes, like the one about how to get back to work after you take the holidays off, because I know a lot of you are thinking about that. That's episode 135. You can find it all. tarswiger.com/podcast188. Get your worksheet, link up to map your business, listen to those old episodes. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here with me in 2018. I'm super excited to talk to you about reaching your goals and having an amazing year and realizing you are the person who can accomplish those goals. Thanks so much for listening and have a super enthusiastic day.